Okay, but you have to sit, baby girl. Okay, there we go. We all know the expression to put lipstick on a pig. It means we know something is a whole mess, but we're just gonna pretty it up and hope that helps, even though we know it really won't. So, would you put lipstick on your software pig? Well, I'm Laura. I'm a product leader specializing in B2B software, and I'm going to talk about it. So, early in my consulting days, someone reached out to me with a potential engagement. His company provides cloud-based software, and the interface just had not kept pace with the times or with the company's growth. He wanted me to take a look at the whole thing and provide recommendations for visual improvements that he could give to his developers. And so I planned out a project that I felt would give this company the most value. I proposed a thorough look at their users' key tasks and what the task flow should look like for each one. I offered to explore how the system's different user groups had overlapping tasks and screens and determine how to optimize the overall system. Because he asked for high-level design, I also suggested creating wireframes, which would indicate the ideal layout for each screen. So my prospect asked me to cut the project cost in half or more. He revised his original ask, stating that he simply wanted to put lipstick on the pig and that more thorough UX improvements could come in later projects. Now, to me, that's a red flag for a few reasons. For one thing, I had a sneaky feeling that this guy was just trying to make the work seem smaller than it really was to get a lower price tag. But more importantly, it was obvious that this platform needed way more than cosmetic improvements. A pig with lipstick is still a pig. I could throw an entire Sephora outlet at the thing and it would still be an inefficient and overly complicated system. Lipstick is a cheap and easy update, and it's a nice, obvious change to show executives, and so a lot of leaders try to go that route. But it almost never does much good on its own. Lipstick is cheap and easy type of update. It's, a nice, obvious change you can show executives. And so a lot of leaders do prefer to start with that kind of thing, but it almost never does much good on its own. So I'm going to back up even more to ages ago when I was supposed to redesign a website. I wanted to deep dive on the information architecture, on all of the templates, and establish guidelines for how to use those templates and the components in them. I wanted to interview people from all over the company, content owners, sales folks, a few customers. I wanted to spend a day at one of our stores to understand how customers interacted with the brand. You might recognize this as things that product managers just like to do. But instead, my bosses instructed me to implement a simple visual update based on a design from some agency they'd hired. And 18 months later, I launched a website that looked a lot better than the old one, and then watched as all the content owners made messy pages because there were no templates that fit their needs and no instructions on how to use them. Customers who didn't understand our internal jargon and couldn't find the information they needed. Local sales offices that opted to create separate websites altogether because our central site didn't offer the flexibility that they needed to display all the content they wanted. And that was, of course, really bad for SEO and customer experience. We had complaints for years afterward from both customers and content editors. So we put lipstick on a pig and the pig was pretty, but what everyone really needed was a goat, I guess. This analogy is getting away from me a little bit. And because I was the one who had delivered the pig, my reputation took the hit. And the most frustrating thing, of course, was that I knew better the whole time. So back to my prospective client. I wound up turning down that work because I knew that simply sprucing up their visuals would not actually provide this company with the growth they needed. And then I kicked myself for turning down perfectly good money. But a few months later, that prospect returned and said, okay, fine, we'll do it your way. And now they have grown their customer base 20 times over. So I have learned my lesson. I will not take on a job that I don't believe will deliver value for a client because I want happy clients. And lipstick on a pig rarely makes for happy clients. So like I said, I'm a product manager specializing in B2B SaaS. And if you want a quick visual refresh, don't call me. But if you want it to enable customer growth and happiness, come find me on LinkedIn. I'll post a link to that and my website below.